Yeah, so let's go to one of my teams, the Denver Nuggets, who are the 3 seed. Well, we've actually got two Blazers fans. So we have the true Blazer fan, which is George, and obviously Ed has the Blazers. The Blazers take game one in Denver, and the game was pretty close throughout. From what I watched, Jokic wasn't diming as much as he was because that was towards Campazzo, but Dame hit some huge shots in the clutch. And when I mean he was being covered, the defense was all over him. And you've also got Melo, the good return story, getting booed, on fire in the first half. But yeah, George, how are you feeling? Because we're talking about the Blazers blowing it up. Game one, it's got to feel good, hasn't it?
Honestly, Alex, like it feels so good. Like I always keep saying, whenever we end up playing the Nuggets in the playoffs, I know it's going to be a tough matchup for us, and it's just an enjoyable series to watch, no matter at what point it is. So I'm happy that we take the lead on this one, even though in the past it's typically gone that way, and then we've taken the lead, and then it goes the opposite direction towards the end. So I'm hoping this is the different in the story. But yeah, like you said, Lillard was out there doing Lillard things. He was heavily guarded, like his three towards the end of the third was such a big time three. Just driving it in and then that pullback and just finish it off with the dagger. And like you said, Melo just there all the time, constantly. You knew when you watch him play and wait for that pass out, he knew what he wanted to do, and he was just telling the rest of the players on the court, nah, it's okay, step back, I got this. So it was beautiful to watch. Yeah, so hype and really excited for the rest of the series, man.
George, just give me a quick synopsis. I mean, personally, I think the key to this series is the man that I have dogged all year, and that's Nurkic.
Yeah.
He had 16 and 12 with 5 assists last night. You're not going to stop Jokic, let's be honest, are you? You just want to slow him down. No. I just think that you go on, Ned.
No, I was going to say, I keep on forgetting People forgetting he used to be an ex-Nugget. Jokic and Nurkic played on the same team together, so maybe he's got some little intel. I always forget that until they always bring it up in commentary. Like, oh yeah, remember they played on the same team.
Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, I think from what I saw from the Blazers standpoint, Simons played really well last night. He had some huge buckets. He played a couple of crunch time minutes, and he was really efficient when they kicked it out to him, and he was able to hit the open shot.
Shout out to Orlando's very own Anthony Simons, named after one penny. So sorry, carry on. Just had to put that out there.
Had to put it in there. I mean, the magic eye in the burst. He's got to get him in somehow.
I got a one for the episode done. So I tick one magic reference. Cool. Now we can progress. Sorry, George.
I was just going to say, George.
It's okay. You got to get them in the playoffs somehow. I understand.
I was going to say, George, give me a quick answer on this. Do you think that you guys can win this series?
Yeah, whenever we come up against the Nuggets, there's no doubt in my mind that I believe that we can win it. Each time we come up against them, I always believe there is a chance for us to win it, but I know it's going to be one of our toughest matchups to play. So it just depends on how we push going forward. Again, like I said, usually in the playoffs, there's usually an injury issue which pops up, so keeping fingers crossed on that won't be the case and the turning point on a downfall and how hard we play. Like you said, Nurkic again, big time for us in that, and I think that's gonna be a big help going forward, especially with the Jokic factor. Like you said, Jokic is gonna go out there and be Jokic. Even Lillard said himself, like he's got his vote for MVP. So it's with Nurkic out that helps with the slowdown a bit and helps us a lot more on the inside. So we're not just out there on the outside, just forcing those threes up. And yeah, it gives us other options on the inside. So yeah, keeping it tight, man.
A couple of things from my side on Blazers Nuggets. On the Blazers side, it's annoying that Lillard has to make these shots. Actually, not. they won by quite a bit, but you don't want to see Lillard having to make these really hard shots like throughout the playoff series. Like it'll go in one game, but the next game, just because obviously how tough those shots are, it's unlikely they'll go in. But again, Lillard did have this absolute purple patch in the bubble where he was in fuego. Secondly, for the Blazers, I love the fact that they have got a solid backup center that can be so effective for them, because Denver don't have anyone on the bench unit that can match up with Kanter, and Kanter hopefully can feast throughout the series. Because I was looking at them as roster, and I was like, wait, they don't have a backup center. Kanter is going to love this, all the offensive boards and all the offensive production he's going to get. From the Nugget side, it seems with Murray out, it doesn't feel like there's any defensive output from the Denver guards. Like I don't know who the best guard is on Denver. Like Michael Porter Jr. is like their best. Is probably, I don't know. Is he gonna have to guard the wings? Is he gonna have to guard the guard? Sorry, and then is AG also gonna have to guard CJ McCollum, because it doesn't feel like they have much defensive output from a guard position. Also, one of the big stats from last night was Jokic only had 1 assist, which I think you were mentioning, Alex, that Jokic didn't have much production. 1 assist from Jokic is quite, because obviously I didn't get to watch the full game. I'm like, what happened there? Was it just players not making their cuts? Was it Denver not necessarily making their shots? Was it Jokic being limited by Nurkic? What happened there? That's something I'm interested to see how that goes moving forward.
It was I think he had 13 possessions where he basically had a hockey assist. So there was a lot of attention on Jokic. He would skip the ball, they'd make the extra pass, then they get the bucket. But yeah, in terms of production, Campazzo's not a scorer. He has 8 points in 32 minutes. Rivers plays a lot of game time down the stretch now for them. He had 6 points in 33 minutes, only took 6 shots. Gordon, more from him offensively, which he needs in this series. And Michael Porter Jr., he had a good game, 1 of 10 from 3, but it's going to be tough for Denver. It is going to be tough. I still think they can pull out of this series, though.
Also, going into the series, I think the betting odds, Portland were favored over Denver in terms of betting for this series. So that's one thing to note.